my darlings, and welcome back to my channel. Today is Makeup Monday, and I am bringing you 90s grunge-ish, something or other, I don't know. Got my flannel. This is not hair of the 90s, but you know what? I'm working with what I got. And so we've got ourselves a smoky, grungy look today. Very thin, odd eyebrows, a berry pout, some big hoop earrings, a choker, and a flannel. What more would you want out of the 90s? So anyway, guys, if you wanted to see how I created this look and talk about some 90s stuff, yeah, just keep on watching. Okay, so I lived through the 90s. I did. I was a teenager in the 90s. A lot of trends happened in the 90s. Eyebrows, which is why I don't have any, because the 90s happened. So these are going to be super thin today because I'm doing kind of a 90s grunge. I don't own any band shirts anymore. I think they all got flooded out over my numerous floods. Yeah, I lost a lot of crap over the years, but I'm trying to think. There's a lot of 90s celebrities I'm kind of drawing inspiration from. Yeah, like Courtney Love, Drew Barrymore. Trying to think of other, like Winona Ryder. Basically, we're gonna do a thin browed, dark grungy smoky eye, and a berry red lip, something like that. I don't know. These are my thought processes. I don't have anything on my face right now except for the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Primer that has been my jam lately. You'll probably see it in my favorites. I got it a couple months ago. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to be using the Jackie Aina palette today because I feel really drawn towards, and I barely have touched my palette. So Ginger, this Credit shade, Edges, maybe even some Sponsored, maybe like a grungy look with these four colors. I don't know. We're just going to go with it. So you might have noticed that I have a new setup right now. And that is because I am working on this office finally. I am not going to be griping about it anymore. I finally did something about it. So, background is gone. I'm actually using my phone as a mirror because that mirror is gone too. So, hopefully you guys can see me, hear me better, all that fun stuff. This is the Brown Sugar palette from ColourPop. And I think I can pull like Chai. And I've got some grungy shades in here. Henna's really nice, so yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into this. I done talked enough. We're gonna go with the shade Chai from the Brown Sugar palette. So since I got rid of my mirror, I'm gonna grab one of these and use that as a mirror. And I think I'm gonna take this color Chai all in the crease area. We're just gonna take this Chai color and kind of run that all the way up to my brows. So let me know in the comments how old you were in the 90s. I turned 11 in 1990. I don't remember being into makeup until I was about 13. And then it was like liner and red lips. And that was like the thing. And Maybelline mascara. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to just do a grungy type look that I feel just kind of gives me them grunge 90s vibes, if you will. So I've laid that shade down. I think I'm going to take the shade Ginger next in the Jackie Aina palette. We're going to go ahead and put that in the crease. I don't do browns. Y'all know this. But I was like, I really think this will be a really pretty grungy look. And I'm not so much going historically accurate with anything. I'm just remembering the looks of the 90s from stuff I've been looking at. But I do remember it being like very dark in the eye area, and focus was mainly on the eyes and the lips, not so much your skin. So, and the skin was very, very like pale and powdery, matte finish. You wore like a lot of powder. There was no such thing as setting spray. The 90s were great, you guys. They were just great. I think my favorite decade would be the 80s. I was a kid in the 80s. That was, you know, my childhood. I grew up in the 80s. But the 90s were great because I was, you know, Oh, I was obsessed with New Kids on the Block. I should have put my New Kids on the Block shirt on underneath my flannel that I'm going to put on later. But it's the New Kids on the Block, what they look like now, not back in the day. Because I did finally get to fulfill a childhood dream and go see them live in concert. So I'm just taking the shade Ginger all around. And I think I'm going to take that underneath as well. There was no such thing as highlighter. If there was, I don't remember it. I don't remember highlighter. I remember the CoverGirl little quads and the pink and green mascara from Maybelline. I think it was Maybelline, yeah. And I think they still make it. But basically, I'm just going to smoke out my eyes. I think I'm going to use the brush that came with it because it's got a really good fluffy brush on the end of it here and a nice little packing brush. I never use these brushes because I just never do. I'm going to go in with the shade Edges. I'm just going to go over into the crease and darken that just ever so slightly. I'm going to go under. Then I'm going to take another brush. I'm going to go in with the shade Credit, which is this really dark brown right here. It looks a lot lighter on camera, but it's actually pretty dark in person. I'm going to take Credit, and I'm going to go do the same thing. And all of these shades are really pretty together. And you guys know I don't do brown, but I'm loving it. I think I'm going to go into the Huda Beauty Smoky Obsessions palette and pull some of these shades in here. And definitely I'm going to work with that black. But first, I'm going to get a black eyeliner. And I'm going to smudge it all around my lids. So I'm going to use the LA Colors Jumbo Eye Pencil. And this is the black one. It's almost like the NYX ones. I've never used this one before. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go all basically along my lash line. And I'm going to get that nice and smudged into my lashes. Because lashes also weren't a thing. You could do lashes if you want. I'm going to take this with my finger and smudge it out. Oh yeah, we're already starting to get that grungy 90s look. And I'm going to take this right at my waterline. I just remember being like obsessed with, oh yeah, that right there. Hello 90s. Yes, yes. Okay, so I just remember being obsessed with brows in the 90s. In the 90s, I went through a very goth phase that kind of never really went away, but I was really, really super in the late 90s, early 2000s. Because I was still in school in the 90s, and I graduated in 97, so I was very much so, quote-unquote, normal. To an extent. I wasn't very normal, but I really want the liner in my waterline to pop, so I'm going to take this LA Colors black pencil and I'm really going to line my waterline because that's just not dark enough. Now that I have the black kind of smudged out on my lid, I'm going to take the black from the Huda palette and ever so slightly, like, I'm just going to, I'm just going to, boop, that's it. That's it. Okay. And I'm going to go right at my lash line and start packing that on and blending it up. Again, just tap. Just tap it on there. You don't need a lot at all. You don't want a lot. Yes, you want that grungy look, but you don't want it to look like you got punched in the eye. You don't want that. And all I'm doing is just blending this up. No more extra product on the brush. I'm just blending this up over my lid. So that's what we've got going on so far with the eyes. Lashes weren't a thing, but I am going to take my lash curler and I'm going to curl these puppies. And I'm going to use a lot of mascara to really amp up these lashes. My eye is watering per usual. Alright, so mascara. I think I'm going to go in with Kat Von D's Go Big or Go Home. And I'm really going to load it on. And you know what? If it gets on your upper lid, that was part of the look too. So big, clumpy lashes I feel like were a thing. I can't stand that. I'm just continuing to put my mascara on and then I'll meet you back here to finish up this face. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my Milk Makeup Blur Matte Foundation because it's matte and it's pale, and my super saturated Morphe sponge. This foundation really likes a super saturated sponge. I don't know why, but it does. It's really weird to do my foundation second because I usually have my foundation already done, but I knew there was going to be some fallout. I feel like the 90s looks weren't really as blended either. Like, people didn't blend to filth in the 90s. They just didn't. I like this foundation a lot. That one pump did all that. I need to pull it down my neck because please pull your foundation down your neck. Just don't stop right here because you can see it. Especially if you don't have the right shade. You can see. Just don't do it. Just pull it down your neck. So I'm going to go into with what's left of my little elf powder here. And I'm going to take my kabuki brush, swirl that in there real good. And I'm just going to tap this all over. You really want to mattify the skin. Contouring wasn't a thing either, so, but pencil brows were a thing, and I'm going to use the Anastasia Brow Wiz in dark brown. I had the thinnest brows. I still have thin brows, but there was nothing to them. Alright guys, that is going to be it for the brows. Oh my gosh, look at those brows. They are scary. So I'm going to go ahead and fill the brows in just a little with some powder. I don't remember if this was a thing. I think people did them in with eyeshadow back then. I do not remember. I want to say I used like an eyeliner pencil or something to fill mine in. I actually had Brooke Shields caterpillars on my face when I was in school and I hated them. I was so conscious about them, and now If I could go back and tell my younger self to stop, don't touch your brows, I would. All right, so we're just gonna leave the face as is, just like this, powdered. That's it, because that's how it was. So for lips, I'm gonna go in with the shade from NARS. It's just a deep berry burgundy. Oh yeah, that's a grungy look right there. Berry lips were all the rage. Not so much stuff like this, but I'm gonna go put on my jewelry, fix this hair, put on my flannel, and I will be right back. All right, you guys, I know this is probably not anywhere near accurate with the flannels, the band shirt. This is not a band shirt, but it looks kind of like it could be. We had the big hoops in the 90s. These things, chokers. Oh my gosh, lots of chokers. So this is my interpretation of 90s grunge. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. If this is the first video that you're seeing of me, my name is Wendy. I make a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as part of the Darling Makeup family. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Whatever.